Blotnik, the man, the myth, the cactus. Blotnik, i.e. Druska, was a seafaring Menelesian captain who through circumstance became a champion for the Leviathan of the Seas, Tuana, gaining his abilities. Blotnik's abilities actually went through 2 iterations. His older ones were ice and frost based, and his new ones are now water based. The older iteration of Druska gave him a damaging aura around him by his artifact that would slowly deal tick damage to all enemies nearby, much like a blizzard, unless he deactivated it. The Druska artifact's active ability was, and still is, a healing move that heals around 50 HP and mana, and granting invulnerability on use. He could also, according to Blotnik at least, walk on water, and I'm assuming that was by placing ice below him. He also had ownership of 2 scrolls, Zaitis and Ledinus. Zaitis, upon cast, would freeze any nearby players, who would in turn freeze players near them, and so on, hence why it was dubbed Chain Freeze by most players at the time. It was also considered to be one of the strongest scrolls of its time, and possibly the strongest scroll ever created. Though getting hit while frozen would cancel the freeze, this did not apply to frost abilities and spells, and as such you could pretty freely just spam Solstice on anyone frozen and kill them. The scroll had 1 bestow slot, and it cost 100 mana, though because of the leader discount that owning a scroll gives you, it only costs 75 mana for Blotnik. His second scroll, Ledinus, acted much like the dreaded Snap Gelidus back in Rogue Lineage, where upon cast the user would slide forwards at high speed, summoning sheets of ice upon their path. This was also an insanely strong ability, though most likely not the strongest mobility scroll. I say Void Teleport was better. It was easily up there still. It cost 35 mana and had a whole 4 bestow slots. Later, during 2019 or so, 1 or 2 months before Arch officially quit developing Tales, his newer specs were added. They're a bit weird sometimes due to no bug fixing or anything of the sort done for them. They were pretty rushed. But the main difference with his newer specs is that they were made to be entirely water-based. Though he kept the ice, now water, sphere active ability I talked about earlier. That's the healing move. Replacing Zaitis and Ledinus are now Blotnik, a strong spell with a kind of inconsistent hitbox. It sweeps a damaging tentacle in a short range in front of the caster, and upon hitting an enemy it breaks block and applies Abyss, a unique status effect only for this spell that deals solid damage over time and entirely disables weapon skill usage during it, and it costs 44 mana. And keep in mind, none of these are scrolls. They're special spells that Blotnik has. SUBTITLES, for only 25 mana, it shoots out a tentacle from the caster's body with insane range that pulls the caster to wherever the tentacle hits. Razalas, after a short wind-up, it would deal slight damage to players around you and ink their vision, preventing them from seeing the caster. That was 50 mana. Now for the rest of his non-spell specs, which I actually find more interesting, he has an improved swimming speed, roughly 2 times more than a normal player. He doesn't take water damage nor lose stamina from swimming, and has an active that allows him to heal 50 mana and 50 HP by pressing R with a 10-minute or on-death cooldown, and that's the thing that I talked about earlier. Lastly, he has the standard abilities any other immortal / lord has, plus 5 HP, plus 10 mana, upon anyone saying his name. Druska in chat, their screen becomes darkened and zooms in for a brief bit with a faint heartbeat sound. Well, that's about it. The only reason I made this video is because Blotnik is, I believe, to be the only immortal with completely undocumented abilities visually, except maybe for horror TM. This is my first scripted video and I don't have a proper ending for it. I'm sorry if I mispronounced any words. If there's any Lithuanian speakers, that would be kind of horrid. I kind of want to make a video like this for every scroll in Tales and every artifact in Tales as well, but I don't know, maybe possibly content.